Hello Internet, this is Kawa. Welcome back to exploring the ASCII Dungeon. And today we look at what has to be one of the weirdest ASCII implementations of all. Welcome to HyperRogue. HyperRogue takes place on a hyperbolic plane and emphasizes positioning and tactics over intricacies of gameplay for its own sake. So you won't see any multiple hit kills here. You won't see any equipment really other than some one-time orbs of various things. It's all about how you can position yourself in a very, very unusual place. What is interesting is that despite the fact this looks nothing like any roguelike you've seen before, it still has some of the hallmarks of the genre. We're still in @. You know, the floors that we understand are still, we're capable of stepping on are still dots, and the walls that we can't move through are still hash marks. All gold and diamonds and other precious metals are all asterisks, much like the gems from various games. Or in some worlds, they're actual dollar signs, just like the gold we've gotten used to. So, and here in the Icy Lands, everything is in shades of blue. Now this is partially because it's the Icy Lands, and this is partially because it's very cold. We see here, as we mouse over different parts, that they're all at negative 24 degrees Celsius. We ourselves are pretty cold right now. But, as we move through the area we leave behind is a little bit warmer. Just a little bit. And as we heat up the area, the ice walls will, well, start to melt. This red cross here is actually an optional feature. I can turn it heavier, no axes, or automatic. And it's to help you understand which number pad keys will get you to what area. So right now, pressing 8 will get me up here, like so. Pressing 7 or 8 will get me to the square, and so on. I actually usually keep it as always like this, so that I always know which way I'm going, but I guess I should put it automatic because I have had a policy so far of keeping things as much as possible at default settings. So I guess I should let them fade over time, since that seems to be what the developer intended. So you can already see now we have areas that are warmer than freezing, and those will slowly melt the walls that are here, like so. Over here at this differently colored wall, this orange wall, is what's called a Great Wall. It's the division between the Icy Lands and this next area, which happens to be the desert. Where these are is so the desert is, well, sand themed. The money here is called spice, which should make a couple of old sci-fi fans giggle. There are desert men, and there are sandworms that I cannot attack, like that one. I can't attack them directly, if I understand correctly. I don't know if there is any way to defeat them, or if I just have to keep avoiding them. Let's get to another area. So yes, completely broken the classical grid-based form in exchange for something very different and very exciting. This is the crossroads, which are a mostly safe area other than the fact that they have openings to other areas. These living caves are filled with walls that will change randomly, if I understand it correctly. Not necessarily every turn, or even every other turn, but often enough. One of the things they have is trolls which leave permanent wall corpses, though, which can be a boon or a bust depending on how you look at it. But yes, it is intentionally very difficult to navigate in this game. It is intentionally easy to get lost. That's all considered part of the gameplay and part of the charm and part of the reason this game is so interesting. And I just died. Oh, I see why. So if you're surrounded by enemies, or if you attack an enemy while another tries to attack you, you will die. So there's no hit points. Everything is single hit point. It's all a matter of where you move and when you attack. Let's restart. Let's see if we can find at least if we can actually talk about that jungle area we were in with its strange sea ivy formations, and do anything interesting with that. I think I see, yes, that's the crossroads over there. I do want that diamond though. There we go. There's some jungle over here. I think I've trapped myself a little bit. There we go. So these ivies are interesting in that they're all represented by C. We still have the whole type plus members of a type thing going, but because this enemy takes up multiple spaces, different colors represent different parts of it. The blue one here is the root. If I kill the root, there is always a ruby underneath, and that counts as money, which is good for us. The dark green ones represent dormant ivies, which do not attack us. The bright green are branches that lead to a yellow active one, and the active ones are capable of attack. But if I attack the root, it will destroy the whole thing, like so. So part of the gameplay in this area is trying to find our way towards those centers without getting killed by the tendrils that come out at us in the process. Which I am epically failing at doing at the moment. So let's get out of here, because I'm terrible at this. We're back in the Icy Lands, which I'm at least minorly able to navigate without too much trouble. I wonder if I can find any orbs to show you some other interesting effects, but I haven't had much luck with finding them, honestly. Nor have I had that much luck in unlocking new areas, other than the Icy Lands, let me grab that diamond. Okay, here's an orb of winter. It will leave behind, well, frozen walls behind us. Which one could see as a good thing, or one could see as a terrible thing, depending on how you look at it. We could very easily trap ourselves. We could also very easily trap monsters who would otherwise try to kill us. So, up to you to decide if it's good or bad. Not like the walls aren't meltable anyway, but, you know, something to think about. So we're back in the living caves area. These walls and floors will change with every move, or almost every move at least, which is very difficult to understand. But of course, what is a roguelike without its random dungeons? I'm almost reminded a little bit of the concept of the Ancient Domains of Mystery Infinite Dungeon, or the old Angband completely randomly generated. If you go through the if you go downstairs and upstairs again, you'll end up in a different version of the level than you were in before, which I never really understood, but what's there to say? So it's really difficult to end up back where you came from, which I find to be a very fascinating conceit. Certainly not standard in the roguelikes I've played, where, you know, at least you can figure out where you were before and how to get back there again. But HyperRogue is sort of designed to be a statement on how difficult the world can be to navigate, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but that certainly seems to be the case from what I've played of it so far. Very disorienting, but in a beautiful way, and still holding to arguably more conventions of the roguelike genre than Caves of Cud. But that's only by one argument, of course. Let's see. There we go. Let's get back to the crossroads, see if we find anything else of interest. Ooh, this is new. Land of Eternal Motion. Let me guess. Yeah, I can't go back the way I came. Interesting. And I'm guessing I can't stay in place either. Well, this is gonna be a trip and a half. Those W's are running dogs. Huh. I see items over there, but this area scares me, to be honest. I'm never quite sure if I should be moving a certain place or not. There we went. Still, thematic dungeons, very unconventional use of space, but, you know, despite it, it's very clearly roguelike. Once you get used to the fact that it's not laid out on a flat 2D plane, it's not that difficult to read. And all of these roguelikes, from the most extensive to the most small, have shown us something different about how something as simple as symbols on the screen can represent a game and can represent a game experience. I think that's the real takeaway more than anything else that we should take out of exploring the ASCII Dungeon. That even though we're not creating graphics, even though some would argue this is the least immersive way to make a game, it can be immersive and symbolic and beautiful in its own way. And there's value in that in and of itself. Not just for the roguelike community, but for all of us. It's been quite a joy to stumble through all of these roguelikes with you. It's a beautiful and interesting experience to play so many games back to back and experience all the contrast in their styles and in their values. All of this has been a prologue to an upcoming episode of Roguelike Radio about the joy of ASCII games. I'm really looking and all of it has been recorded before that podcast episode was recorded. So I can say right now I'm really looking forward to that recording session. I'm really looking forward to talking even further about roguelikes, but certainly for now I will be taking a bit of a break from making video. Still though, if you have any suggestions or commentary, keep them coming. If you do like this video, it does help me here on YouTube if you do press that like button, or if you subscribe if you choose. I would love to do more first impressions type videos like this, or more extensive let's plays of the larger games like Crawl and Atom. I would love to do occasional non-roguelike independent games if that's what people are interested in. The roguelikes are, yes, my one true love in terms of video games anyway. But I've really worked hard to give you guys the full experience of what roguelikes are, what they look like, and what they're capable of. I hope you've really enjoyed it. And if you have, let me know. If there's anything you'd like to see from me, let me know, absolutely. And thanks yet again for watching. I will see you next time.